We have played 3 games already. Now it's time for the 4th and final game of the opening day of the 2023 Pennsylvania American Legion State Tournament here on the Westmoreland Sports Network. As to cap off the full day of baseball, it is the Region 8 champion Wesleyville, post 5-7-1, against the host for this tournament, the Latrobe Jethawks. Sean Myers joined by Mark Katarski here on the call at Rosa-Oglietti Park on the border of Latrobe and Derry. This is the home venue for this entire week of baseball, today through Friday. And Mark, for Latrobe, we mentioned they are the host team, so they got the automatic bid. But this is a very, very good team, as their 17-7-2 record overall indicates. They went 13-5 out of District 31 American Legion. And certainly they will have a home field advantage going against a Wesleyville team that traveled nearly 3 hours to get here to Latrobe, Pennsylvania.
It's certainly convenient to be sleeping in your own beds, which the Latrobe players will. And I think will benefit them as they do it. But once the first pitch gets thrown, the baseball doesn't know that, the bats don't know that, and the best team usually wins.
Latrobe, despite being the host, is playing as the visitors and the road team in this game. Let's take a look at the batting order for the Jethawks, typically under the guidance of Jason Bush, but because he is the region director, he will not be managing them. It will be his son, Zach Bush, who will be serving as the manager for today and the rest of this tournament. Leading off at the plate now is number 8, Lou Amatucci, the catcher, as the first pitch from Jake Menendo is in for a strike. Following Amatucci is Hayden Siraki, number 14. He'll get the starting nod on the mound. Vinny Amatucci, the third baseman, number 9, follows. Logan Bradish at first, 22, bats cleanup as the count's quickly 0-2 on Lou Amatucci. Then it's Colin Bush in right field, number 23. Eric Batista in center, wearing number 2. Number 3, Leo Bezala is in left field. Jack Stinchel is second baseman, number 4. Cooper Bassiano, the shortstop, number 11, rounds out the batting order for the Jethawks. As that misses, it is now 1-2 on Lou Amatucci. Amatucci and older brother Vinny, both hockey players as well, as that is fouled off. Louis Amatucci is a really good defenseman for the Latrobe hockey team. Vinny played for Latrobe and is now at nearby St. Vincent College, playing both baseball and hockey. He is a goaltender on the ice.
That is a special breed.
Yeah, you would almost think that, as that misses inside, that a goaltender would be probably best suited to play catcher in baseball. Yeah. But it's Louis who's the catcher today. He's the defenseman.
Everybody have that? And who's on first?
Yes. As this is hit to first, and Brady Rocky takes it to the bag for out number 1 as Amatucci is retired. Let's look at the defense for Wesleyville.
Number 14,
post 5-7-1 is under the guidance of second-year manager Eric Menendo. It is Jake Menendo, number 2, doing the pitching. He's throwing to catcher number 25, Jake Rocky. Rocky is not the last name as it's spelled, but that's what he and cousin Brady at first base are both going by, as Siraki takes a first pitch strike. Speaking of which, first baseman is number 22, Brady Rocky. Tyler Burek, number 3, is at second base, as that is fouled off. Alex Menendo, number 13, is playing at short. David Gibson, number 12, is at third base. Left to right in the outfield is 18, Aiden Bolger, 6, Ryan Vaughn, and 84, Reed Courtwright.
And the left fielder playing a little shallow there, Bolger. Right around the marks. We've seen most of the outfielders a little beyond those worn out spots. And Siraki, a left-handed hitter, you would think a pull guy, and they seem to be shading him accordingly.
Menendo fastball curveball selection for his pitches. That's the same 2 pitches that Siraki will throw in the bottom half of this inning. 0-2, and this one is bounced up the middle. Menendo throws across in time to retire Siraki for out number 2. Siraki, by the way, committed to play baseball at nearby Seton Hill University.
And if I am correct here, he played at
Vinny Amatucci,
Ligonier Valley,
yes,
under the guidance of Jason Bush.
Yes,
right.
And he was, I think, more prominent as a football player during his time with the Rams. Terrific 3-year career. His freshman year was the
ill-fated.
Yes, But so he came along and had a terrific 3-year run as a quarterback, as a running back. Nonetheless, he's retired, and now Vinny Amatucci steps to the plate. Had a chance to see a lot of Vinny in multiple sports over the years. 0-1. And I believe that hit him, and it did. Just clipped the shoulder of Amatucci, so he will take his base.
That just didn't come outright of the hands there of the pitcher,
Batting
Menendo.
fourth,
I don't know if we'll
the
see a
first
replay or
baseman,
not.
number
You could just kind of
22,
see it hung in there a little longer than he would have liked. There's the
Bradish.
replay. Yeah, he was just fiddling a little, and it just hung out there on him. As they said in Major League, forget the curveball. Ricky, throw him the heater.
Bradish steps in, and a fastball misses for ball 1. Logan Bradish headed to Davis and Elkins for baseball.
Both schools, or
No.
it's just one?
That's
Okay.
correct.
It's Davis and Elkins. Okay.
D&E, as some call it, as this one's hit to the right side. Sliding play by Burek, and a
Wonderful
good one.
play.
As he throws across, Bradish is retired. And after a half an inning, it's Latrobe nothing. And now Wesleyville, playing as the home team, will come to bat. Let's take a look at the lineup
Defensively
for
for
first
Latrobe on the hill.
5-7-1.
Number 14,
Leading off for
Hayden
Wesleyville
Siraki.
is number
Behind
2,
the plate,
Jake
number
Menendo,
8,
the starting
Lou
pitcher.
Amatucci.
He's followed by second
At
baseman
first
number 3,
base,
Tyler
number
Burek.
22, Logan Bradish.
Brady Rocky at
Second
first base
base,
follows. He
number
wears
4,
22.
Jack
Then it's David Gibson, the
Tula.
third baseman, number 12.
Third base,
Ryan
number
Vaughn in center
9,
field. Clad at
Vinny
number 6
Amatucci.
follows. Alex Menendo, the shortstop, number
11,
13, follows.
Cooper Bassiano.
Then it's number 25,
In
Jacob
left
Rocky, the
field,
catcher.
number 3,
Aiden Bolger in left field, number 18.
Leo Bazala.
And Reed Courtright
Center field,
in right,
number 2,
number 84.
Eric Batista.
Rounds out the batting order
And in
for
right field,
Wesleyville,
number
post
23,
5-7-1.
Colin Bush.
Defensively for the Jethawks, number 14, Hayden Siraki, the southpaw, is on the mound. Fastball, curveball variety for Siraki. He is throwing to number 8, Lou Amatucci. Vinny Amatucci, number 9, is at third base. Cooper Bassiano, the shortstop, clad at number 11. Jackson Chula, the second baseman, wears 4. And 22, Logan Bradish, is at first base. Left to right in the outfield, 3, Leo Bazala, 2, Eric Batista, and 23, Colin Bush. And again, it is Zach Bush, not Jason Bush, guiding the Jethawks.
And both teams going straight 9 in their lineups. No designated hitters. We talked the DH would have to be for the pitcher here in Legion Baseball, but
Leading
both
off
teams are
for
going straight
Wesleyville,
9s.
Number 2, the pitcher,
And
Jake
so
Menendo.
Siraki gets the starting nod, and you have this beautiful pamphlet of information on Siraki that you can,
Is that a
mix
cue
in.
for me to use it?
whenever you would like to.
Well-
he did not fill his out last night, so it was a special delivery to us here today for his information.
Favorite music group is Dababy.
That's the baby.
The Baby, sorry.
Yeah, you've already exposed yourself as not being cool.
I thought it was Dababy.
Now that's different than Lil Baby. Lil Baby is completely different than Da
I
Baby.
understand.
Yeah.
Nickname is Rock,
Uh-huh.
not The Rock, but Rock.
John Wayner.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss.
I mean, he's going to be pitching, so I guess we have time here.
Now, he's going to be pitching collegiately, potentially, but certainly he'll be playing against Slippery Rock, which is known as The Rock. So it's going to get a little confusing, isn't it?
I like it. I like it. Kenny Pickett, favorite professional athlete.
Steelers starting quarterback.
And his favorite NCAA team is Pitt.
Now, he said that despite the fact that he is headed to play for the Seton Hill Griffins. Swing and a miss as down goes Menendo for the first out. Good start for Siraki in that lefty-lefty matchup.
Love the
Batting
pace
second,
here that
playing
Siraki works
second,
with. He is
number
efficient
3,
on the mound. Get the ball, go to
Tyler
work.
Burek.
And look at this pitch right here. That's one of those up-down sort of deliveries. Can be really hard for the batters to find.
That misses low. Now, I mentioned maybe he'll pitch at Seton Hill. I don't know that that's been decided yet, but I talked to Jason Bush doing a feature on Siraki as that bends across, and he said with how he has thrown this past year, he's at least kept that as a legitimate option at the college level. I think these numbers back it up. Here is his Legion stats this year. Swing and a miss. 7-0 with 1 save. He's worked 44 innings. His ERA is 0.64. That's pretty good.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm no expert. I think that's pretty good. And you can see why he's the first one out for Latrobe, too. Their hope, get the win, shorten the bracket a little bit, and try to keep the team moving on. I said it before, just love the pace that he's working at here.
Baseman, number 22.
And I think his team's feeding off of it.
Rocky.
Now, again, he said fastball, curveball. You would think when those are the two pitches, you can pretty quickly recognize which it's going to be. That being said, even if you recognize it, if it's good enough, that might not make a difference.
Correct. Yeah, you still have to do it. And you can see it's real over the top. The delivery kind of hides it there. It's Kershaw-esque, but not quite to that degree. And, again,
Kershaw has a pretty nice curveball himself.
A great one, and it is get the ball and go to work.
1-2, trying to strike out the side, misses inside to Brady Rocky, batting in the number 3 spot for Wesleyville. Swing and a miss. Rocky punches them all out. 3 up, 3 down, 3 strikeouts. What a start. We have played an inning. It is scoreless. We head to the second, Latrobe and Wesleyville, and the final game of the opening day of the 2023 State American Legion Baseball Tournament on WSN.
We'd like to thank our presenting sponsor of the broadcasts all week long here on the Westmoreland Sports Network, Elite Plumbing Kitchens and Baths in the Latrobe Route 30 Plaza. Elite Plumbing Kitchens and Baths. I want to thank John Ferrero. Head on over if you're planning on redoing your bathroom
They have pepperoni rolls.
or your kitchen.
They have hot dogs.
Everything you need from
So make sure
faucets
you
to
go
toilets
to
to
the
bathtubs to
concession
shower
stand,
heads to
get a
showers
nice little
at
dinner,
Elite Plumbing Kitchens and
something to
Baths
drink,
in the Route 30
and
Plaza.
don't forget about dessert.
Is it route or route, Dan? He can't hear me. Route 30 or Route 30?
A route guy.
See, I disagree.
Are you a route guy?
Yeah.
Uh,
But I'll probably end
now
up
wait,
saying
are you a Latrobe guy or a Latrobe guy?
this has actually been a point of contention.
So growing up, if you're from around here, it's Latrobe. But the proper way of saying it is Latrobe.
I worked at the paper here. And
No, you didn't.
Leading
I
off
did.
the top half
It
of the
legitimately,
second inning,
even amongst the people working there, was 50-50.
There- yeah.
fielder,
I
number
argued with
23,
Hannah Mears about that,
Colin
actually.
Bush.
She recorded, actually, it was the Elite Plumbing Kitchens and Baths commercial. She recorded it and said Latrobe. I said, Hannah, can you say Latrobe? That's not how we say it around. I know, Hannah. I'm from around here, too. But I've always been told Latrobe is the proper way of saying it.
As a kid growing up,
doesn't matter.
My father, who was a Latrobe native, used to sneeze, and it sounded like he said Latrobe. So that's how I remembered it. I got to give a shout-out. You're the one, Dan, with all the emails and the people, but I got a message here from a friend and a colleague, Scott Stano, golf coach up at Gannon University.
At the end of the bat, and it is the shortstop with a long throw across, and not in time. Menendo didn't really have much of a chance. That just came so slowly off the bat that Bush gets an infield single.
And that's the first hit of the game. Scott Stano related to the Rockies. Brady Rocky is his cousin. And so he said, I'm trying to read this right, don't mess up announcing their last name. So we're going to go with Rocky Scott, but
That's what they told me.
They told us to do.
They told their head coach, who relayed that to me, as this one's bunted back. By the way, I saw that Seton Hill has a new golf coach. Is that?
Yeah, that's not public, so Scott's hearing that for the first time.
No, it's on your website.
Oh. Well, I thought you meant. Anyways, let's move on. I'm no Scott Stano, though. That's my guy up there. Did a wonderful job with his team. Coach of the year there at Gannon. And just incredibly hospitable this year as I made the transition into coaching women's golf. And works up there at, and I'm forgetting the name of the course now.
This one bunted back to the pitcher. They're going to throw to second, and that's in time.
Whispering Woods, Whispering Woods, which is a terrific golf course. there in the Erie area. So anybody up there, be sure and stop in. New clubhouse up there. They're really done a nice job. You can see the bunt here. You want to try to push it one side or the other. Obviously, back to the pitcher is less than ideal, and that's what they end up with. But what it does is give you some insight that I think Latrobe feels good about Siraki on the mound and really wants to get that first run and trying to make that move across by playing some small ball. So now the question is, do you see them maybe move the runner here to try to make up for the bunt that went awry?
That's in for a strike. Leo Pizzella at the plate.
The other thing the bunt does, too, is just brings the third baseman in a bit. You can see he's kind of in that hole, if you will, that's kind of dug out there over time. And that may have a subtle impact, too, on a ball through the 5-6 hole or down the line as well. And that's what the bunt can do over time to have that impact on the defense.
Count 1-1. Batista, who's got terrific speed, stands at first.
Go, Leo. Let's go 3.
Batista's one of those guys, he's going to try to take the extra base almost every single time, even if it means running through a stop sign at times. That misses high. Now, for those who are maybe local or familiar with some of the high school teams in the area, the majority of this roster is Greater Latrobe players, but they also have Ligonier Valley and Derry area represented on the roster. As ball 4, and Pizzella takes his base, and they throw down to first base for some reason. What in the world? Well, it was not ball 4, and so what are they going to do with Batista here?
Well, there's nothing they can do because he went there on his own accord. He gets a
steal, right?
He gets a steal. Right.
Well, that's something else. Now, if they had thrown down to second base, it would have been more interesting.
Yeah. You'd love to say that that was a clever play run by Latrobe. I don't think we can give him that much credit.
So here's the 3-1 and a swing and a miss.
Go. Come get it. Let's go. Come on, 3. Come on, 3. Go, Leo.
So I guess I was proven right. They were going to run, and you said he'll even run through a fake walk to get the second.
Hey, there's ball 4.
Okay.
So it really didn't affect him.
Well, Batista gets the benefit of a stolen base added on, but the result the same.
It'll help him in his contract negotiations.
Yes.
Next up, second baseman number 4.
Stinchula to the plate.
Stinchula.
Stinchula, a .322 batting average this season. 10 RBIs, takes a strike.
You know, if you go by the pop in the glove, Menendo is really bringing it. We don't have, obviously, the luxury of a gun, but you can really feel a radar gun. Yes, sorry about that. And we are on the border of Latrobe and Derry. But, yeah, he seems to really be bringing it. And you can see with the batters for Latrobe, a few things that tell you that as well. As you can see, Stinchula just choked up a little bit off the bottom of the bat, and he's also deeper in the box, giving him a chance to see it a little longer and just shorten up the distance that he has to get there. But this ball is really popping.
And Jake Menendo is headed to Penn State Barron.
Paul Benham, one of the really good guys in the business up there, has been there a long time and really been successful. He'll be in good hands there.
Barron plays in the Division III AMCC, Allegheny Mountain Collegiate Conference, that will be getting a new member this year with the Carlos Celtics joining the conference.
And the Wells Express or something like that, Wells College. I can't remember their nickname, but they'll be joining as well.
As a swing and a foul tip that is hung on to by Jake Rocky as Stinchula goes down for the second out of the frame. Yeah, the AMCC has undergone
shortstop,
myriad changes in recent years.
Bassiano.
You can see here he's just heating it up, Menendo. Bassiano again choked up deep in the box as well.
There's a strike.
I haven't seen many things that have changed speed or direction from Menendo in a while.
Yeah. I mentioned that a lot of these Jethawks came from Greater Latrobe High School. That applies to Cooper Bassiano, where his dad is the baseball coach He's late on that. Matt Bassiano's done such a spectacular job, including winning a state title less than a decade ago, 2017. Happen to have some pretty good players on that team who are now playing professionally. And one of those key players is on the coaching staff here. Is called strike 3. Bassiano doesn't like it. He heads back to the dugout. Back-to-back punch-outs for Menendo to end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, 2 left. We have played an inning and a half scoreless in the final game of the opening day of the American Legion State Tournament here on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
Hey guys, what do you have for my guy?
Who's talking? Wesleyville. We got 33.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Guys, get the box right in. Step out both times. Don't let him quick pick you, all right? I like the quick pick. Got it right here. Sorry. 2 more.
Coming down.
We move along to the bottom of the second, scoreless between
Leading off
Latrobe
for
and Wesleyville.
Wesleyville,
Hayden Siraki returns to the hill
third
after
baseman
striking out
number
the side
12,
in
David
the first inning.
Gibson.
He'll face 4, 5, 6, beginning with David Gibson.
It's getting harder with the rules in baseball, but we talked about how Siraki moves so fast on the mound. But the batters may start doing things to try to disrupt the rhythm. And what are those things? Maybe you step out, although you get limited with that. Maybe it is fake bunts, things of that nature, or you just hit the ball really hard to left field.
Yeah, Gibson, first pitch, deposits it out to left. First base runner for Wesleyville.
Next up, center fielder, number 6.
That brings Vaughn to
Ryan
the plate.
Vaughn.
And I just have a vibe here so far. I think runs are at a premium, and the first run is going to go a long way.
That is a foul on the bunt attempt.
And that was for a hit. That wasn't for the sacrifice there. And I had an inkling we may see that. Just try to move him along.
Vaughn seems like an interesting character. So first off, congrats to him. He has overcome Tommy John, and now he's back pitching. So that is impressive, especially, I mean, you see that obviously at the professional ranks. It's almost expected at some point pitchers are going to have
It's like
Tommy
an oil
John.
change for those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to have it at his age, 18, now we're going to be back on fully recovered, I guess, at this point, or at least good enough recovered that he can pitch.
And I think I've told you, but not our viewers out there, I met Tommy John at a wedding about 10 years ago.
Did you thank him?
For
Strike 3. Down goes Vaughn.
What a great pitch. He is very aware that he is Tommy John. I think that's how I would say it.
Some might say you're
Now
very aware
batting,
that you're Mark Katarsky, though.
Shortstop,
So
number
are many
13,
others that I'm Mark
Alex
Katarsky.
Menendo.
First pitch ball. I didn't get to finish any of the interesting stuff about
My fault.
Vaughn, but it's okay. Well, his favorite music group is Elvis Presley. That is, for an 18-year-old, that's interesting.
Good
That's
by him.
Fouled off of the helmet of Amatucci.
You see the umpire here, and we're blessed with another veteran crew, but nice piece of umpiring there. You take a break, walk the ball out, let the catcher catch his breath. Maybe you clean the plate, and then the catcher will do the same in return as well.
Amatucci's tough. He's a hockey player. That misses inside. Menendo. He is the brother of starting pitcher Jake.
And not to be confused with the boy band Menudo. Those are two different last
Yeah, don't
names,
confuse
Menendo
them.
and Menudo.
Do not do it. His nickname, it appears, is Ling.
You're asking me to read that. I can't read that stuff.
Wants to give a shout out to his brother Mikey back home. That's a foul ball. He's also a SpongeBob fan and likes the Sandlot. We have gotten those multiple times.
This is a big at bat here. Alex is really battling, and with one out here, one on, bottom of the second, this could be a pivotal one.
Pulls this to third. Not an easy play for Amatucci, and to get some help over from Bradish, who came off to apply the tag. Runner advances, but that's a good job just to get the out. There's now 2 outs in the frame.
Well done by both ends of the infield corners there to secure the out. I'm sure we'll get a replay here in a second.
Now you're putting the pressure on our
Next
producer
up,
extraordinaire.
the catcher, number
That would assume that
25,
there is one.
Jacob.
But, yeah, it was a
Rocky.
wonderful play there to get it, but runner moves up to scoring position, and Jacob Rocky, the catcher, at the plate.
And a heck of a stop by Amatucci. Didn't know where it was at, but he knew he kept it in front of him, and that prevents any advancement from Gibson. 2 outs now in the frame. The count 1-0 on the number 7 hitter, Jacob Rocky. Hits this in the air to right. Bush ranging over, and he makes the catch. So runner left in scoring position. No runs, 1 hit. We head to the third. It is scoreless through 2. It is Latrobe and Wesleyville right here on the Westmoreland Sports Network. So the mic's calling you the Region 7 director? Okay.
Leading off the top half of the third.
We head
for
to the
Latrobe.
third inning. It is scoreless
Number 8,
in the final game
Lou
of 4 here on the opening day
Amatucci.
of the Pennsylvania American Legion State Tournament. Sean Myers now joined by a guest much more special than Mark Kotarski. It's Jason Bush, who is the manager of the Jethawks, but not, I guess, acting as the manager today. And you were also the Region 7 director, so you wear many hats, although sans hat as you come up here today. First off, thanks for doing this. You have been at this field quite a bit over the last week or so, and I know you are very happy with so far how everything has gone on this initial day.
No, it's been fantastic, and whatever Mark Kotarski said in the past couple innings, he needs to remember that I knew him when he was just a sprout. But yeah, the field is holding up tremendously. We did a lot of work on Saturday in preparation of the tournament. Had a great staff. come up and work on it, and you see us out there in between innings trying to get as much water on it as we can and working it through. And I think it's playing terrifically. I think in 3+ games I've seen one bad hop and it hit a lip, and it would have been a bad hop on any field.
Lou Amatucci at the plate, and now timeout called. So I would imagine that, and I know you told me this even before the game, it's not just all the work Monday through Friday this week. This is legitimately weeks and months of planning, preparation, not with just the field, but with everything that comes with hosting a tournament of this significance. What all went into it?
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't realize all that is the responsibility of the host in this situation. So, for example, we have to host every team that's in the tournament and house them within 75 miles.
Which, as that's a called strike 3, and Amatucci not thrilled as he goes back. That applies to every team except for the Jethawks and for Charleroi.
Correct. So we're
Now batting number 14, Hayden Siraki.
So we're housing, 6 of the 8 teams at this tournament. We're also housing the 8 umpires that you see here every day for 5 days. We're also giving the kids meal money. These are all things that are prescribed to be a host by the state activities committee, some of which, are a great situation for the players, and we want to make this as special an event as we possibly can. There's probably some things that I would like to see a little bit different, and we'll be talking about that at our yearly meetings in October. But, we set out to do this, and we've got a good facility, and we've had so much tremendous help from the community, and I'm really proud of everything that we've been able to do to this part. And now just hope the Jethawks can push a couple runs past and get a win on the board here.
Count 1 and 2 on Siraki, who has looked outstanding so far on the mound through his 2 innings of work. Menendo's been equally as impressive as that one is fouled off. I would imagine it's a little unusual for you to be here, but not really be, I guess, pressing the buttons, if you will. You've deferred to your son to kind of handle those duties.
Yeah, that's a state rule that has another one I would like to see changed, quite frankly. But, they say that, I'm running a tournament, and my efforts and all my concentration need to be running this tournament, just as it was when I was running the Region 7 tournament up in Beach Creek, up in the State College area. So the great thing for me is I have such a tremendous staff, and I'm looking down there at Zach right now. Couldn't be more proud of him as a dad. And, he's a terrific baseball coach, and it's a great opportunity for him. And I've got Coach Newmeyer over there at first base who played for me, and Coach Haller in the dugout who played for me, and so many former players in the stands. So I'm so happy and proud, and kind of like a proud papa this week.
A very delayed delivery, and that one is fouled off as Menendo trying to throw off the timing for Siraki. I know Jethawks have, I believe, 3 different high schools represented, with Greater Latrobe and Ligonier Valley, and I believe Derry area this year as well. And so Charleroi also had 3 different schools. I would imagine that applies to some of these other teams as Siraki goes down on strikes route number 2. What makes American Legion special and maybe separates it a little bit from high school baseball, which you are also involved with as the head coach of Ligonier Valley?
I am. With the high school, so for example, as obviously the head coach at Ligonier, and we're a double-A high school, and you get to play that style of baseball, and the types of teams you're playing are a similar size of you that with enrollment and whatnot. And American Legion, it goes by population, and oftentimes you see teams with more than 1, maybe 2, sometimes 3, sometimes more high schools represented on one baseball team, and it's community oriented. One of the things I couldn't help but think when I was standing on the line and the Marine Corps was out there and they were presenting the colors and how neat that is, and what a special thing it was for everybody here in the park to see, and for our players. And American Legion baseball has been around for a long, long, long time, and we still think that it's very special. We still think it's an incredible, viable situation with some of the other travel stuff that's out there today. But I'm a lifer, and we're certainly going to continue to. Hopefully we get this thing done and try and figure this pitcher out a little bit.
It is a pitching duel so far as Menendo strikes out the side. Final thing before we let you go, Jason. Obviously, you are handling a lot here, but looking at it as a manager of the Jethawks, what's going to be key for your team to have success tonight and all throughout this week? Because I know, and I said this, you are not just a token host team. You are a very legitimate and viable team that can make a run and maybe win this thing. What's going to be key to do so?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I mean, you're seeing the first part of the recipe right now. Hayden's got us off to a good start on the mound. You know, we've played clean defense to this point, and we're gonna have to obviously do a little bit better job at the plate. And you know, when you run into some of these arms that you see, like this young man out there for Wesleyville
When I was
right now,
growing up,
a lot of
nothing was
times
better
that
than
has to
Sunday
do with
dinner at
playing a little bit of
Grandma's.
small ball. And you know, you're not probably
best part
going to
of
see
that
a whole
was
lot of runs in
dessert,
this baseball
which was
game.
a
So it's probably going to be who
pineapple pie.
executes better, probably gets a bunt down,
We
maybe a
have
hit and run, whatever it's going to take to try to win this
Pineapple
ball game.
pie logs. in
Well,
the
Jason, we
concession
appreciate you
stand.
taking the time.
They
Congrats
have a
on
nice
making this all
icing
come
on them.
together. I know it's a lot of hard
I
work
think
that
they're
you're
2
seeing
for $3.
pay off, and good luck to you and
Folks.
the Jethawks going forward.
If
Thanks,
you're hungry for
appreciate you guys
something
being here. Thanks a lot,
sweet,
Sean.
Absolutely. Jason
Get
Bush,
some hot apple
manager of
pie
the
logs.
Jethawks and the Region 7 director,
Leading off
as
for
we advance
Wesleyville,
to the bottom of
number
the third
18,
inning.
left fielder.
And we have gotten 2
Aiden
pitchers
Bolger.
absolutely cruising to this point as Siraki goes back on the mound. He has registered 4 strikeouts in 2 innings. Menendo has racked up 5 so far in his 3 innings of work as a first pitch ball. And Mark Katarski triumphantly returning, and he did not come empty-handed as the count's now 2-0 on Aiden Bolger. That's in for a strike. So Jason Bush kept the seat warm for you, and you made the most of your time away from the headset.
I turned air into a box of French fries. And these are the best. These are crinkle cut fries. And they taste like the entire fryer, like anything that would ever have been in the fryer.
In a
which is
good
great.
way.
In a good way, in the best way possible. Siraki just dealing right now, by the way.
Well, we have 5 strikeouts for each pitcher,
Now batting,
To this
right
point.
fielder, number 84,
and we were talking to
Three.
Jason off air,
Courtright.
and he told us velocity-wise, Siraki's good but not great, as that's a strike. But he thinks if he were to pursue pitching at the next level, that there's a lot of untapped potential, just because he's not really focused on baseball, and certainly as a baseball player, he hasn't focused just on pitching.
It's very well said. I mean, the two of those things work hand in hand. And, you know, young males are still growing, developing at this age as well. So there's room to push that even further along the way.
There's a swing and a miss. He's now got 6 strikeouts out of 8 total outs recorded.
The thing, and somebody's going
Next
to
up,
do it.
number 2,
I just
Jake
don't see
Menendez.
right now to this point how either team is going to come up with multiple hits in an inning. You know, you can see maybe they're going to get a hit, somebody will square one up. So what will this come down to? Most likely, how effective can the pitchers be throwing strikes, but also how do the teams defend? Can they be clean when the opportunity presents? And then those free 90s, right? Is it the hit batsman? Is it the fake walk steal second play that Jason Bush put on from afar? But those are all things that could add up. And they're turning the lights on here, Sean.
That's probably a good idea, although we've got plenty of daylight still remaining. As this one, that might find some green, and it will, as Jake Menendo just stuck the bat out there, and that works as he bloops in a single, second base hit for Wesleyville. Well, so with Siraki
Next up,
again, a 3-sport
number 3,
athlete
Tyler.
who really established himself first and foremost as a great football player. Obviously, he's a terrific baseball player, picked up basketball kind of late in the process and was pretty impressive at that as well, as he misses there.
And I wouldn't be surprised to see the runner get in motion here. I know it's a lefty on the mound, but we haven't seen Siraki in the limited amount of base runners do much to first base. And this may be a chance to just try to start something and see if you can move some guys along.
1-1. That bounces. Good stop by Lou Amatucci.
2 balls, 1 strike.
There goes the runner, and fortunately for Menendo, it was a perfect pitch. That one was spiked, and so no chance for Amatucci.
Those are the things that are going to add up. Base hit now should score him. Menendo with pretty good wheels. So a base hit should get him in, should they get it.
Burek comes up empty there as the count goes full.
Stop chasing those. There's a ball. Let's go.
Fastball, curve. What are you going to see here?
One more time, time.
What do you think we're going to see here? Full count, 2 outs, Sean.
Not in the box yet, man.
Curveball.
Okay.
Got a 50% chance, right? As that one is hit out to right center, falls in, and now Batista doesn't come up with it cleanly. It will score the first run, and into second base, and safe is Burek as Wesleyville strikes first.
It's really manufacturing runs. Base hit with 2 outs. Able to.
We'll see if that's a single and an error or
I
a
think
double.
they're going to call it a double.
Okay.
Yeah, they're going to call it a double, but yeah, it's
Now batting
manufacturing a run.
number 22.
Get on base,
Brady
jockey a little,
Rocky.
make a good read as you're jumping on a pitch in the dirt, and then a double brings them home.
There's a called strike. So we got the Rock versus Rocky matchup here.
With Rocky's cousin
Yes.
tuning in from the pro shop up there at Whispering Woods.
There's a big swing and a miss.
You know, Scott, I don't ask for much, buddy, if you're listening, but I've said Whispering Woods now 3 times.
Yeah. You at least
And
deserve
where's
a
my free
polo or
round?
something, right?
Yeah, where's my free round? Where's my shirt? And I got to get something out of this.
That is fouled off. Well, 1 run, the way that these guys are going, you think might stand, but obviously if you're Wesleyville, well, now you got another player in scoring position. You want to cash in again.
That's right. And you understand the aggressive play by the center fielder because of the 1-run feel of the game with Batista and why he made a play at that.
Yeah, truthfully, I think he was thinking that he would have a chance to get the runner heading home. He wasn't,
That's what I mean,
yeah,
right?
He wasn't worried about Burek
No.
getting to second necessarily. It was more about trying to get that runner home. As Rocky stays alive, fouling that one off. Now, Jason Bush said he knew you when you were a little tyke, as I think we got some dirt in the eyes here. That's
I
not
did.
fun.
So Jason, I was fortunate enough to be coached by Ray Zolchak my sophomore and junior years in high school, and Jason was the scorekeeper over at Mount Pleasant. He was only there for a couple years, so knew him all those years ago, almost 30 years. And neat
Well,
to
that
just
can't
see.
be right, because you're in your early 30s.
Oh,
and Jason's
Sean.
maybe in his mid-30s, so the math doesn't check out there.
Oh my, this guy, I'll tell you what, he's a clever one. But no, it's wonderful to see how careers go and people diverge. And same person I remember, full of energy, wanting to help young people, and it's great to see the success. He's had a Hall of Famer, by the way, too, for all of his efforts over the years with Legion Baseball.
Swing and a miss, and Siraki does get another punch out. He does strike out the side, but the first run comes across, courtesy of a couple of hits, 1 left on base. We head to the 4th. It is now 1-0 in favor of Wesleyville on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
No, it looks like he's working with it out there. I think he said the battery. Yeah, I even had a friend of mine who texted me to say, the other games were better because they had the center field camera. He doesn't realize it's out.
Yeah. He'll get it figured out. Unfortunately for him, this one's going way quicker.
Yeah.
Sorry, chum.
Yeah, he's a nervous wreck. With all this stuff, with all this responsibility. For the last several weeks, he's been running around chipping himself. That's a good question.
Leading off for Latrobe, number 22, Logan Bradish.
First run goes on the board in the bottom of the 3rd in favor of Wesleyville, post 5-7-1, as the Jethawks will look to scratch here. Well, this is a home field advantage for Latrobe. Although this is not the field that they typically play on, as that's in for a strike. That being said, the vast majority of their players at some point in time have played on this field, maybe in their developmental years, and obviously they knew that this was going to be the field as this one's bounced. Third baseman Gibson throws a cross-high throw, and it gets away. And so the air allows Bradish to reach.
Again, these are the kind of things in a pitcher's duel that add up over time. You know, that's one, and it was a quick call, but that's an E5 high throw, which you can understand
Next
the
up,
ruling there.
number 23, Colin
Get Bradish
Bush.
on, gets it going. We're also near the middle of the order here, so we saw a bunt from Wesleyville in the middle. I wonder if it's that kind of situation, or do you just let 3 swings go and hope you can move them around that way?
Bush singled
We're
in
going
the
to see
second.
bunt here.
Not there. You could hear the velo for Menendo when that glove is popping.
For sure. And the read here, and we have a pretty good angle, but you're looking at the top hand here of Bush. And that's why you'll see a pickoff is they're looking at the top hand. Does he move that top hand up as if he's going to get in position to bunt? And those are the little tells you try to get at.
Come on, get him over and get him in.
Some sage advice from the crowd.
Does a left-handed batter have any advantages or disadvantages when it comes to bunting in this scenario, trying to move a runner from first to second?
It's a great question. They're a step closer to first, which is going to help in terms of the decisions that the infielders make. The other thing, too, is to push it towards third may be a little easier for them from the way that they are able to square up. And by pushing it to third with a right-handed pitcher, you're really saying only one person can field it.
That's fouled off.
And I think we're out of the bunt. I mean, that's pretty clear after the last 2 pitches that their choice is going to be just try to swing away, get some multiple hits to see if they can scratch a run.
Colin Bush at the plate. Bradish at first base. He reached on an error to begin this 4th stanza. There's a swing and a foul tip as the count goes 2-2.
Cover up, let's go.
Latrobe is a team that, as I mentioned before, they've had great success this season and historically. And so they were guaranteed to be in this tournament as the host, but they are a very viable contender, and I think this game so far is proving that. Bush is a .330 hitter and has 23 RBIs entering today's contest. As that misses away.
Now here's a big question: does the runner move here with full count? I would be inclined to.
Well, Bradish, I'm not going to say he's slow, but he's a first baseman. It's never really kind of popped as a quick runner. So I think that's a little bit more of a gamble in that sense, as that's fouled off.
And they're not going to move him. I understand your point, Sean, the other end of that. Obviously, there's 2 sides to everything. You could avoid potentially a double play, but you make yourself susceptible to the strikeout throwout, the line drive, all of those things. In a 1-0 game, there may be some, and that's what they're trying to see is just is there any tell here, and maybe you keep them that half step, lean them back.
Bush is the Dairy Area Trojans product, a graduate in 2024. And now timeout's called. Alex Bregman is his favorite professional athlete, and he's a Penn State Nittany Lions fan for his favorite NCAA team. Favorite movie, Moneyball. That was my first-round choice. That's fouled off.
He's really doing a good job of hanging in here. I mean, these things are late, but he's just doing enough to spoil it. Can he get out ahead of one? Can he keep fouling these away and make Menendo throw a breaking ball? Those are all things that are going on to try to win this at-bat.
They're going to try to get the lead runner, and they will. That's all they'll get. That wasn't necessarily a surefire thing for Burek, but he did turn and get it to Alex Menendo in time to eliminate the lead runner, Bradish. Bush reaches on the fielder's choice. There's now 1 out.
Yeah, and it hung in the glove a little bit, and I don't know if they would have had it anyways.
Now
It was
batting,
just a
number
couple
2,
hopper,
Eric Batista.
which can be hard, but still a runner on first here. And Batista we saw with some wheels his first time up. And he's going without a glove, a guy after my own heart.
Pops that one
Let's go, good hack, let's go.
out of play.
Good hack, kid, let's go, 2.
He's going to continue collegiately at Garrett County Community College in Maryland.
Which has had some really good players over the years.
Let's go, Rick. Let's go, Rick, let's go, Rick, let's go, Rick.
Another one bounced slowly. This time the only plays to first, and just in time, Burek retires Batista, but Bush moves into scoring position now with 2 outs.
Burek did a really good job there with his hands
Now batting, number
to
3.
make sure that he got it,
Leo
received it, and
Bazala.
released it as quick as possible to try to get that out, which was the only play was at first. Bush does move up. Is a base hit going to be enough for him with 2 outs? You would think so, and you'd think they'd send him to try to get this game tied up.
First pitch strike to Bazala, nicknamed Primetime. Maybe Deion Sanders.
I like that, man. Good for him. I wish my nickname was Primetime.
Yeah, you could try to get that started as Primetime's going to come through here, hits it out to right and past Courtright, who tried to barehand it. He'll score a run. Bazala gets into second, and we are all square at 1 apiece. So Bazala will get the single and the RBI. He moves to second on the air by Courtright.
And again, you see the pressure put on with a runner on second
Now
in a
batting,
low-scoring
number 4.
game that he had to make an aggressive play to try to get the runner at home and just misplayed it, allowed the runner to move up to second, and the run scored. It's the second error of the night for Wesleyville, and a costly one as the run scored.
No one!
Second error of the inning. And timeouts called. I think we've seen way more timeouts, it feels like, so far in this game.
Yep.
Another one hit to second. Burek's been busy this inning, and he throws across to retire the side. However, Latrobe pulls even, plating a run, courtesy of 1 hit, 2 errors looming large. We head bottom 4. It's 1-0 on the final game of the opening day of the 2023 State American Legion Baseball Tournament on WSN.
No, that batter was an 8-5 at the beginning. That should have been first out. So the run is unearned.
Got 2 left.
Coming down!
Let's go, bud. Come on. Pick yourself up.
Leading off for Wesleyville, number 12, David Gibson.
We head bottom 4, all square at a run apiece. Just 5 hits combined between these squads. Now we'll see how Wesleyville responds. Siraki remains on the hill. He's facing 4, 5, 6 in the batting order with Gibson. Siraki wasting no time, gets a swing and a miss.
We talked a lot in the third game, our first game of the day, about pitch counts and the importance here in this tournament with rest and all those things involved. I would imagine at this point both coaches are going to just go all in. They kind of took the chips, shoved them in the middle of the table, and they said, we're going to try to win this one. And they got their best arms on the mound. And they're going to let their best arms go as long as they can.
Yeah, the idea of getting someone back to pitch Thursday or Friday is good in theory, but you have to win a game or 2 games to make it that far.
Right.
2 teams will be eliminated tomorrow. And so for those teams, do they lament their decisions at all? Again, you like to set things up ideally, but Sometimes the most important thing is winning the game in front of you, as Gibson draws a leadoff walk.
Now batting, number 6, Ryan
That's the
Vaughn.
first free pass issued by Siraki.
Yeah, I was going to say, that was the most unsettled he's looked on the mound. And you can see the third baseman is in, expecting bunt, and I think we're going to get it.
But he bunts it foul. So I had mentioned earlier, for the people who were tuning in all throughout the day, or at least in the preceding game,
And
about
if you
an
did,
immaculate
thank
grid.
you. Yes, immaculate
Okay,
grid.
so do you understand the concept of it?
Act like I don't.
Okay. That adage could be applied to many things in life. So it is, as a throw over, it's baseball trivia in a sense. It is a like tic-tac-toe grid, so 3 by 3. So there's 9 total squares, and you get 9 total guesses. So to get them all, obviously you have to be perfect. If you miss any, then you won't be able to get all 9. And so what it is by and large, it will be a team listed vertically, a team listed horizontally. And where they intersect, you need to find a player who played for both teams. So for today, Boston is the first team on the top of the grid, and the Yankees are the first team on the side of the grid. So where they intersect, in that square, you have to find someone who played for both teams.
Babe Ruth.
Sure. Now, this does not, it has to be, they have to play a major league game. So that you can't be drafted by a team but traded as a prospect. You understand what I'm saying. Right. As this is fouled back. And so sometimes it's easy, sometimes, and by the way, Yankees and Red Sox was today's first square.
Yeah.
But then other times there's categories. So you might need Hall of Fame and then would have to name the 2 or 3 teams that go with that. So you would have to name a New York Yankees Hall of Famer. Well, so today I'm not going to make you do the whole thing because it's very difficult to visualize this. I mean, it's one of those things, you and I know enough that if someone said, hey, this guy, name the teams he played for, we could probably get it. But when you have to come up with that name out of nowhere, it makes it so much harder.
Agreed.
Very frustrating. But I like the categories. So today's categories, the one going down is Hall of Fame, and the one going across is 300-plus saves in a career.
Oh.
As this is bounced. So you don't have to come up with them right now, but this is something to ponder as we're here in the top of the 4th of a tie game. Hall of Fame, we're looking for New York Yankees and Seattle Mariners. I would imagine you could get both of those very quickly. As this is up in the air and out of play.
This is a great at-bat, by the way.
It is, and he's doing it because he wants me to explain all of this, even though there's no outs in the inning.
He's working along with us. I like it.
For 300 saves, you need to get a Red Sox pitcher and a Tampa Bay Rays pitcher, and of course, like for the example of the Washington Nationals, you do include the Expos history there.
Gotcha.
And then where they intersect, you have to have a Hall of Famer with 300-plus career saves. As that is hit pretty well out to left. Bazela back, and just in front of the warning track makes the catch for the first out, and so Vaughn's battle goes for naught. Okay, so if you have anyone in mind, we're looking for Yankees and Mariners Hall of Famers, Red Sox and
number 13,
Rays 300-plus career saves. And again, they don't have to have gotten. They don't need to have gotten all 300 with that team, but they need to have pitched for that team. And then where it intersects is 300-plus career saves and in the Hall of Fame. That's a strike.
Is Dennis Eckersley?
That is correct. Well, for who?
Red Sox.
Yes, that's correct. That was my guess. Fairly popular one. He got 13%. There's a swing and a miss. And so now it's 0-2 on Alex Menendo.
Hall of Famers with both Yankees and Mariners.
No, it doesn't have to be with both.
Oh.
Yes. There's a throw. And not in time, but the strikeout is recorded. That is the 8th punch-out for Siraki. So you just need one Yankees Hall of Famer and then one Mariners Hall of Famer.
Griffey Jr.
Now batting.
And
number 25.
And by the way,
Jacob Rocky.
Well, so if you had used Ruth for the intersection of
Yeah,
Yankees,
you
Red
can't use them
Sox.
again.
But yeah, Yankees is the easiest one in all of baseball for Hall of Famers. So
yes, right.
I'm gonna say that I'll give you the tap-in putt that you would have gotten Lou Gehrig or whoever, the literally probably, I don't know, 50 Hall of Famers or more that have played for the Yankees. as this is slowly to second behind the bag, and Stinchula can't make the play.
You saw that coming. The ball sounded odd off the bat, and it just kept spinning in a weird way. This infield in really good shape, but just as it got to the edge of the grass, took that one extra hump. That was
Next
it.
up, number
Stinchula
18.
kind of turned around. I'm hoping for the outs, but
Bulger.
we're going E4, and we have time here now.
And they're going to talk things over.
So what do I have to get you here now?
A
Tampa Bay
300-plus save pitcher who pitched for Tampa Bay, and then a Hall of Famer with 300-plus saves.
Well, I'm struggling for the Rays one.
And you've already used Dennis Eckersley.
Yeah, I'm struggling with that one.
That is a very difficult one. That was, I think, the hardest one today. There, I believe, is 4 correct answers.
Really?
Yes.
And all they had to do was have a cup of tea
Correct.
in a Rays uniform.
One game appeared. The 300-plus saves in Hall of Fame is, I would think, fairly easy. The one that I got, 46% of people used as their selection correctly.
Rivera?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was the one that
Who's
I got.
the Rays with the 300 saves?
Do you want me to tell you, or do you want to maybe think it over? It's one of those that you might not get any of the guys.
I don't think I'm going to. Go ahead.
Okay. My selection was Troy Percival. He got 16%. The most prevalent one, and it's, I would say, a little surprising that he got to 300 saves, is Fernando Rodney. As this is bounced to short, routine flip on to second, Bassiano to Stinchula, and the side is retired. No runs in the frame. There was 2 left, 1 error, and no hits. We head to the 5th. It's all square, run apiece between Latrobe and Wesleyville as we wrap up day 1 of the American Legion State Tournament on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
Hey, let's go right here. 9 tops. Let's go. Let's over 2. Let's go to work. Let's go to work. Right now, let's follow on. Keep pitching here. Keep pitching. Go make a play.
Jason Isringhausen, which I didn't remember him, and who was the 4th? Yeah, that's what I mean. You did it, and I wouldn't have thought that Rodney got to 200.
That's kind of where he found himself. Part of that Generation K.
He was pretty good in Oakland and St. Louis.
Isringhausen.
Rodney was someone, so he would just drive you absolutely nuts. Walk the bases low and strike out the side. But somebody really, the wire different. Billy Wagner. Strike out the Holland is later too.
Roberto Fernandez.
Oh, man.
I think he was a long time White Sox.
Yeah, I think you're right. Well, sometimes after these years you forget about it. I mean, it's like, oh, yeah.
We head to inning number 5, all square at a run apiece. Final game of
Leading off
4
for
on the opening
Latrobe,
day
number
of the
11,
state tournament. We'll play 4 more
Cooper
tomorrow, and then 2
Bassiano.
teams will be eliminated at that point, and 2 teams will be undefeated.
Well, and Cooper may not like me for this. His mother and I were high school classmates, Kelly Abedians, and boy, when I see Cooper to the side, it's not hard to tell who his mom is.
One shown, but that misses. Do you know Matt at all?
Met him. I coached Luke.
Now, he and
In basketball.
John Flickinger graduated together, I believe, from Derry area.
Oh, they would have. Yeah. And their father was a guidance counselor when I coached there. A wonderful guy, Norm, I think.
Bassiano, the number 9 hitter, a strikeout victim, although that's been a recurring theme in this game. And so he's got the count 2-1. Did I entice you enough that you might continue with Immaculate Grid?
Yeah.
Okay. Even if not, at least you can pretend.
No.
I've got my one friend absolutely hooked on it.
I'm curious why.
The problem is, when you just sit there and cannot think of a guy to name for, to save your life, but you don't want to just throw out haphazard guess.
Next up,
And so
number
they
8,
just sit there in a
Lou
stalemate
Amatucci.
for 30 minutes at a time. It could become counterproductive.
Do we get bunt here, Sean?
Yeah, I think so. It's top of the order with Amatucci. He's 0 for 2.
And you're running out of outs. Yeah, there it is. Now, was that the fake bunt or the real bunt?
I think based on how maybe the defense reacted to that, they'll make that determination. I think he's going to bunt, though.
I do too.
That went in on his hands.
Well, you'd like to see him really get around. I mean, one of the neat drills I've seen is they use lacrosse sticks, and they try to catch the ball on a pitch with a lacrosse stick to try to get that habit of kind of catching the ball on the bat, which is really the art of bunting. And you see Amatucci, it's kind of late and quick, as if he's trying to almost bunt for a base hit, but I don't think that's an order here.
No, he has struggled with
This is a battle of the coaches as much as it is the players in this game.
Absolutely, absolutely. And these become high leverage situations here. 1-1, 9 outs for each team left. A bunt could be really valuable. It's also only one of your 9 outs you may have left. So it's really interesting, fascinating to see how they go about this.
And now that bunt's likely out of the equation. Well, you said before, it's probably unlikely that we're going to see multiple hits in an inning. And so if you have that mindset, now we have seen an inning where Wesleyville got 2 hits, but if you have that mindset, it really does make sense to get the bunt here.
Agreed, although Amatucci's approach just wasn't sold on it. And now he's kind of stuck with 1 strike left.
Fouls it off. And so Zach Bush goes through his instructions here at Rosa-Oglietti Park on the border of Latrobe and Derry.
I don't think they have much. Sorry, Sean. I don't think there's much going here. Bassiano kind of a defensive lead there.
That's a good take by Amatucci. Talked to Jason Bush, who is typically the manager. He's not the acting manager tonight, however, for Latrobe, and he's very proud of having the opportunity to host this state tournament. Pulled to third, but foul. Jethawks have made the Region 7 tournament 5 consecutive seasons.
Oh, you, let's go. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And so Menendo's getting close to that threshold where he will likely not be able to pitch again in this tournament.
And I think they're okay with that, the way this game's going. This is a big at-bat in the game. I don't want to be overly dramatic, but this is a really, really important at-bat here.
And that hits him. I think it caught maybe the elbow pad. And so Lou Amatucci takes his base. He didn't get the bunt down, but he moves Bastiano to second and does not even have to make an out in the process.
So again, does
Now
the
batting,
bunt
number
stay in order? We're going to
14.
see a timeout here.
Hayden Siraki.
I think they are making a move. And this would bring him back when?
76.
Friday, right?
Yeah.
He could come back Friday.
That's interesting if they do the move here.
And so we do not have pitching stats for Wesleyville. But
Well, I think he's a good pitcher.
yes,
Yeah,
but you wonder, is there another pitcher that they feel is just as good? I don't know that. If they do, then maybe it becomes a little bit easier of a decision. But if you think this is your best pitcher,
Yeah.
then that is a big risk, and they will keep him in.
And we are third time through the order, so there's some analytics that say the batter gains an advantage, and they're putting a pitcher into the bullpen. So that was as much as anything an administrative meeting. And I think bunt again in order here.
Jake Rocky is a very vocal catcher. as that's popped up, and now foul. So that's one where
Really good job there.
Menendo's either got to catch it or then let it go.
Yep, and I think he did a really, really good job there. Again, these bunts and it's just me. It could be how it's coached. They don't feel like true sacrifices. To me, a true sacrifice is square up, catch it on the end of the bat, get it down and go. These guys are kind of leaving before contact, and it may be leading the fact that they're missing them or fouling them off.
Oh, that was a defensive bunt, and it's off of the glove. They're going to have to hurry, and now it's out of the glove. And it's going to allow the Jethawks to score a run. There goes Siraki. He gets caught in a rundown, maybe trying to see if he can get his teammate home. And here comes the throw. Safe! Latrobe's no out. Well, thank goodness we have someone whose job it is to scorekeep, because there's a lot going on there. But the only thing that truly, really matters is that the Jethawks are now up 3-1.
Sacrifice E1.
So they're going to give a sacrifice there, as they should.
Yep.
Siraki, more of a self-defense bunt than anything else, able to get it down. And it's amazing when you just put the ball in play, you put pressure on the defense. The pitcher just a little bit off, went and threw it to first, a little high and wide. And they were able to get 2 runs by the time this was all done. Great job by Latrobe, just getting base runners on. And
how bold of a decision was that for Siraki to head to second? But maybe he knew all along what he was doing, because it allowed his teammate Amatucci to score. And then after all that, because the throw came home, he was safe at second.
The other thing, too, there, Sean, is that once the ball gets rolling and the momentum happens, it's hard for those players to stop it.
Number 9.
And I think Siraki sensed that as much as anything, was that the play was kind of rolling and you had a chance to take advantage of the situation.
It's so tough in that moment, but now it's easy for us to say in hindsight, you can't allow that runner to score, even if it means Siraki gets the second, because as we see, he did get the second anyway, and the run did score. So it really was, depending on your perspective, best case or worst case scenario.
Absolutely. Yep.
And Vinny Amatucci at the plate. Hits this pretty well to right. That is deep. And the catch is made on the warning track by Courtright.
Oh, wow.
And Siraki was not tagging, so he does not advance.
Wow.
Well, that seems like one that I know he probably wanted to score, but you figure in that scenario you tag up and you could crab walk to third base.
Interesting.
Next up, number 22, Logan Braddock.
That seems like it is certainly a missed opportunity.
And they're going to make a move to try to save the arm. It's fascinating how this has ruled the day today with pitchers. And this is another culprit of it.
And again, it's certainly in place for safety reasons.
Absolutely.
My question is there any better way to do it? And that's obviously something I know Jason Bush said that they always think about how they can improve things, what they can change. So I just wonder, is there a better way without compromising anyone's health to do it? And maybe this obviously is something that they've thought about coming in, but to your point, it is a prevalent theme in every single game. And maybe once we get later in this tournament, it won't potentially become as paramount.
And you also wonder a little bit if it's some overcoaching. You know, this is a game, it's 3-1. Latrobe has a whopping 2 hits. And you almost wonder if, we're overcoaching a little bit because,
I also ponder if it was still 1-1, would the decision be the same?
I agree with you. It's really hard to say.
75 is pitching.
But in fairness, it's been consistent. They've been consistent, these coaches, in really managing pitching off of the pitch chart.
Heath Betza will enter the game and take over. We're potentially going to
now pitching for Wesleyville.
Slew of changes.
Number 75, Heath Betza.
See, Courtright came in for some reason. He had been playing the outfield, and he goes back to the outfield, but maybe changed some equipment in the process. And I'm not sure what other changes we have here other than pitcher, but it seems like everyone is basically coming in and out. So we know Burick's going to stay in the infield, and Brady Rocky's going to stay in the infield. I would suspect that they'll stay at their same positions, but I guess we'll wait and see.
Yeah, and remember, they were straight 9, so the pitcher has to take somebody's spot.
While you guys figure that out, I want to
Hey,
remind
Dan.
everybody that you can send your emails in. We haven't gotten any yet for this game. The viewership has been amazing all day long. Thank you so much to everyone that has tuned in. Hopefully you've tuned in for other games as well.
Have you noticed a big increase since
I
Mark
have.
came?
Well, yeah. I mean, that was the difference. Roger's probably listening now. Anyway,
and what
so
we
click on
need
the
is
little
an email from somebody at Whispering Woods, because I've said Whispering Woods now 6 times. And we need an email, and I need a text message saying, Mark, you got to force him anytime you want at Whispering Woods Golf Course, public golf course in Erie.
So a runner at second and a big swing and a miss from Bradish. So I believe, from what I saw, Betts is the only change in the field right now.
Yeah, Menendo went to pitch to the left and a new pitcher.
Oh, okay. Okay, so we have a new left fielder, and that's previously the pitcher, Jake Menendez. So I believe Bulger is out of the game then? Okay. Well, there we go.
So it wasn't as bad as we thought. They said it was going to be complicated, but then they made it simple.
That misses from Betza. Well, his job right now is to keep the score where it's at. Jethawks have taken the lead here, scoring twice in this inning. They have not gotten a hit in this inning. This one's hit pretty well to right. Catch is made by Courtright. This time Siraki will tag, and he gets to third. If he had tagged on the prior one, probably scores there.
Yeah, and that was a more routine play than the one previously. Well, he's 90 feet away, and there's several ways he could get home now.
Colin Bush.
They're going to peel to second.
Safe, as they deem Siraki did not leave early. You know, we should tip our proverbial cap to Flick. He is putting in the hours today. He's going to have a nice big paycheck when this week is all said and done.
If you happen to find a battery, let me know.
Glad somebody's getting a paycheck. All I got was, they are amazing French fries.
Yeah.
I got 2 double order French fries with double ketchup. All calorie free here at the Legion, at the Teener League field.
Really?
They are calorie free. Right on the Latrobe Dairy border. It's amazing how they've
That's because you
discovered
sweat it
that.
out.
Oh, not you. That's okay. That's okay.
Is there a name for the Latrobe Dairy border, like the Mason-Dixon line? Is there some equivalent of it?
It's a good question.
Yeah, let's see if anybody emails about that.
0-2. Swing and a foul tip hung onto, so down goes Bush, and the side is retired. However, it is Latrobe scoring twice without a hit in the inning to take the lead. There was
Last
one
call
error
for the concession
as well.
stand.
We had bottom 5, and
Last
it's now
call
3-1
for the
in favor of
concession
Latrobe
stand.
over Wesleyville, right here on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
Both those runs were earned that inning.
Turn, where we at? Turn.
Hey, fellas, let's go hit now. Come on.
Turn. Coming down.
Leading off
As
the
we move
bottom
to the
half
bottom of the fifth, we just
inning,
enjoyed the 5th inning
for
stretch brought to you
Wesleyville,
by
number
Independence
84,
Health System, formerly Excella
Reed
Health, Expert
Courtland.
Care, here.
And it's interesting, Sean, that last out, I mean, we got kind of lost in all of it, but Betts able to get the strikeout, and it's still only a 2-run game.
Yeah, left a runner stranded at third. Bunt shown, and it is missed by Courtright, number 9 hitter in the batting order.
You know, I just noticed looking at the scorecard that they put Betts in at the 8-hole. It was almost feels like who was the last out in the inning prior.
Yeah.
You almost wonder if it feels like a double switch type move.
Yep. Swing and a miss.
And Betts back down in the bullpen, getting warm. They said Hideo Nomo used to do that. He used to throw in between innings.
Did he throw a no-hitter at Coolers Field?
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
It's unheard of.
Yeah. Swing and a miss as Soronki gets strikeout number 9.
Let's go! Let's go, Sarong!
Now batting, number 2, Jake Menendo.
Now Menendo. So when we get to that spot in the order, can there be a DH for Betts at that point?
No. Yeah, it's a great question. But once you start with a straight 9, that's it. Now, I will defer to the Legion people in the press box. I believe you could list as a pitcher DH.
Nope.
They do not have it. So it's straight 9. Okay. The Ohtani rule. There you go.
That's fouled back.
And that's a college rule, too. The pitcher DH is something you see in college. But so it's either straight 9 or your DH for the pitcher at the start of the game. Once you lose the DH, you've lost it in perpetuity.
Oh, right past Soronki, and that gets out to center, as he probably has the heart pounding a little bit after that one. So Jake Menendo aboard with a 1-out base knock, just the 6th total hit
Now batting,
of this
number
game.
3, Tyler Burek.
That brings Burek to the plate.
So he's at 8-5 right now.
I don't see any signs. I'd be tempted to get him in motion. Double play takes you out of the inning, clearly.
Burek had an RBI double in the 3rd inning. Runner goes. It's high, and that throw is high. Good job by Stinchula to back it up, but Menendo in easily with the steal. Count 2-0 to Burek. This was the combination that accounted for the only run for Wesleyville to this point. What's the timeout for? Someone's car lights are on.
Turn your lights down low.
How's my car doing out there?
It's a Bob Marley song for anybody.
You have a beautiful singing voice.
I've never heard that before.
Both these teams will be back in action tomorrow. Depending on win or lose, that will dictate when and who they play.
So if you're Burek here, just hang in there, work back through the middle.
And that's strike 3, right? Or is that strike 2?
2.
Okay, got ahead of myself.
2 balls and then 2 strikes.
Well, we already saw a player go down to first on what he thought was a walk, so.
Exactly. Not striking and 2 strikes.
The loser of this game will play at 1:05 tomorrow. The winner will play at this time once again tomorrow. Hey, there's strike 3. Down goes Burek.
Yeah, and Burek knew it as soon as he swung at it, grabbed the bat, and that's that
Now
high
batting,
fastball
number
that your
22,
eyes tell you can get
Brady Rocky.
but you struggle to do. All right, Brady, let's go, bud. Cousin Scott's listening from the pro shop there at Whispering Woods Golf Course.
Soronki now in double digits with his 10 punch-outs, but
He's
I believe
busy.
he's close to or surpassed 90 pitches.
Sorry,
I believe, at
Sean.
this point.
I'm working on business here. Sean, Scott's up there writing out a certificate for a foursome for me at Whispering Woods because it's been a dozen times now I've
So
said
you,
it.
Paul Zeiss, who else?
Schofield's here tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, he hits it around a little bit.
There's a strike. Paul Alexander a good golfer?
Haven't played with him. Yeah, played with Zeiss and Schofield, but not Paul Alexander. They should be a...
There goes the runner, throw to third, and Amatucci just knocks it down. And so another steal. Menendo, channeling his Ellie De La Cruz, gets to third. That's a risky play when there's 2 outs.
Absolutely, yeah. Now, what you saw almost happen is what you're also playing for. Maybe it's a throw in the dirt. That is just so hard as a catcher to throw to third like that through the batter. Almost got it to scoot away to give a run. But the old adage is always to never make third out at third, or first or third out at third.
My adage is just don't ever make an out.
It's a pretty good
I've
one.
found out that works better. But
Yeah.
and so the reason is because with 2 outs, if you're at second base, you will typically score on a hit.
Correct.
There's not a major benefit. There is some benefits, but it's not a major benefit typically to be at third. It's a moot point now because Rocky goes down. So Rocky strikes out the side. He has 11 punch-outs, and he keeps his team in the lead. It's 3-1 through 5. Heading to the 6th, it is the American Legion Pennsylvania State Championship right here on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
6 and 6, so that would be 21. For a total of 90.
Checking his pitch count.
96.
96. That was
Yep,
96.
96. You got it.
I'd like to give another shout out to our presenting sponsor of every state tournament broadcast this week, Elite Plumbing Kitchens and Baths in the Latrobe Route 30 Plaza. Stop in if you're thinking about, or even if you're just slightly considering remodeling your kitchen, your bathroom, and John Torero and the folks there will hook you up. Again, that is in the Latrobe Route 30 Plaza. Elite Plumbing Kitchens and Baths, proud sponsor of the State Senior Legion Tournament right here on WSN.
Thank you, Dan. See, the problem is he doesn't have headphones on.
I heard you say thank you. I said you're welcome in my mind.
Solely because you're in the other room and you can...
Yeah.
I'm going to be sleeping the night I'm going to hear. And if you're looking for remodeling, I'm gonna, well, who is this voice? Is that how you get your son to go to bed at night? Do you just talk to him?
He would
like,
tell you he doesn't
randomly?
go to bed.
Yeah.
See, he can't really hear us. He's just laughing in there.
Another big inning here both ways. Latrobe
Leading off the top half
trying
of the
to
6th
get-
inning for Latrobe.
to extend
Number
the lead.
2,
You know, when you're
Eric
looking at one-run
Batista.
leads, it's a one-swing lead. When you're looking at 2 runs, the tying run is always on deck. So as you can continue to try to stretch that out, it helps. For Wesleyville, Betza finished the inning strong. Can he keep that going? Try to keep his team close.
Batista hits this one out to right center, and it hangs up long enough for Vaughn to make the catch. So no Batista bomb on that one, and he is quickly the first
Good
out.
for you, Sean. You're on your A game, buddy.
Now batting number 3, Leo Bazala.
Betza took over for Menendo. Remains on the hill.
That's okay. Just
First pitch strike. How have you liked the new Major League Baseball rules?
By and large, I've enjoyed the way the game is being played. The bases is probably the one that I have the biggest issue with. I think it's
The
just
pizza box bases.
the pizza boxes. It's shortened the field and changed how it's played, but I think the pitch clock.
That's off of the glove and safe. So that is a infield single. Although, if you ask Betza, he's going to lament that. And what happened to Menendo? Oh, he's fallen down. Not sure what happened to him, but he's holding his face right now.
No, that's Burek.
We're being told it's Burek.
Tyler Burek, number 3.
yeah, the second baseman. What happened there? Did they fly?
And so his team coaches, and now Jason Bush comes out as well. Now he's back up, which is a good sign. Very strange, as it was, I believe, away from the play. Obviously, it was off of Betts' glove, and I think it went to the shortstop Menendo for an infield single.
Yeah, I had a chance to see the replay there, and it kind of inconclusive. I mean, not to be, there wasn't much you could see, and it seems like he's okay, and that's the key.
Now batting, number 4, Jack Stinchula.
So an infield single, and now Stinchula. Stinchula 0 for 2 in this contest.
Latrobe would love to be able to turn the order over here. They're at number 8. If they could just flip it, this is where they made their damage last time. Try to move that order around and add a few more would really add up.
Zala has his lead at first, dancing around a little bit, swinging a foul tip. Well, we know how proud Latrobe is to be hosting this tournament, and one other thing that Latrobe is known for is the banana split.
How about that?
Yeah, they had a big festival. I don't know if
Sticklers or Strickler's drugs. Strickler's drug.
I don't know if that's if they have an annual festival, but I remember when I worked at the Bulletin, that was a big deal. I think it was a major anniversary at that point.
And then Rolling Rock beer, some of the older.
Although that is not brewed here anymore.
No, but it started there. Yeah. My father actually worked there in college. He's a Latrobe native and worked at Rolling Rock as he went to St. Vincent College.
Are you a banana split guy?
I don't like bananas.
You know what? As this is hit and through. And so Bazela will have to stop at second, but back-to-back base knocks as Stinchula comes through.
Yeah, and this is the part of the order that's done the work. You just kind of want to keep the train moving. That's the idea. Make the next guy come up.
Bassiano.
And keep moving along. And Bassiano now here scored the go-ahead run in the last inning.
After drawing a walk.
Up here again.
Probably not a bunt scenario.
I don't
It would make the
think.
second out, but he takes that for ball. He was showing it a little bit. So you do wonder if he does bunt and does his job, then you get 2 runners in scoring position for the top of the order, but you have 2 outs, and it puts a lot of pressure on Amatucci. First base would be open in that scenario.
And fairness to Wesleyville, they did struggle to defend the bunt last time.
There's a strike.
And that may have been a just bunt until show bunt until you get a strike deal, get them to move a little bit, see what you can do.
There's some activity in the Jethawks bullpen.
He's going to go here. Yeah, he's going with bunt again.
No, he never really offered it, either one of them. And now the count's 1-2. Kind of just left the bat out there.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Right now, right now.
Called strike 3. And Bassiano slowly saunters back to the dugout for a strikeout for Betza. Excuse me, second strikeout for him.
Now batting, number 8, Lou Amatucci.
All it takes is a hit here to get another run in, and Betza has so far kept the Jethawks off the board.
We play here in the top of the 6th. It is 3-1. Latrobe looking to add on. They are the host team for this tournament, playing against the Region 8 champion. Excuse me, swing. So you like the pitch clock then?
I'm a fan of it. Yeah, I'm
See,
a fan of it. I don't love the limits on the throwovers, but I understand they had to try something.
I don't know if this is the right way to phrase it or not. I hate the method, but I love the results.
I think that's a fair way to put it.
I really, truly wish baseball remained a game without a clock. The problem is every single player and coach was taking advantage of that and dragging things out unnecessarily long. And another hit batter. This time, Amatucci will load the bases. Second time consecutively that he has been plunked.
And to follow up on that, you know,
Now batting,
it's not to get
number
political
14,
at all, but you know, a lot of people believe in free market, that the market will correct itself. And to your point, Sean, you hope that things like the shift would have corrected themselves. Start laying bunts, learn how to hit opposite field, all of that.
Yeah, but it never happened, which is infuriating.
I know, it never happened.
Siraki fouls it back.
And the same with the pitch clock. You know, research says the faster pace that games are played, the better they're officiated, played, etc. But it's just something that, you know, coaches have tried to break the other way, and then it kind of spiraled out.
Siraki hits this one to left, and that is down. It will score one, making the turn. Stinchola, he will score, and sliding in safely to third is Amatucci. It is now 5-1.
You kind of had a feeling Siraki was waiting for that moment, and it fit him. And I think he broke this one open a little bit there with that 2-run single. And we may get another move here, from Wesleyville.
Siraki's raising the people's eyebrow after that opposite field 2-run single, and it is 5-1. The entire infield for Wesleyville will convene and at least talk about what they want to do here.
I know you guys don't have a monitor up there, unfortunately, but if that tag is made at third, then the run probably doesn't count. Yeah, Bruce says confirms what I say, Sean. But yeah, the run would not have counted had the runner been out at third.
Yeah, that would have been the third out of the inning.
And that's insightful, Dan.
Now
We do appreciate that.
Number 9, Vinny.
To give that
Amatucci.
sense of that, and then just remember the rule, and most people know. On the tag play, the run has to be in before the tag out. You know, on forces, that's out. But on the tag, it matters. And, yeah, good job, Dan.
Runner from first goes, and they'll just concede that. And Siraki actually would have been okay with another rundown, but he'll take second. So the count 0-1 on Vinny Amatucci. Strike. Well, the Amatuccis have been plunked 3 combined times in this game.
And if they're hockey guys, you got to imagine they plunk each other all the time at home.
Yep. I got some fun hockey stats for Vinny.
Go ahead. I don't know what they mean. I'm not a hockey guy.
So he had a 12-5-1 record in net this year for the Bearcats.
Oh, that I would make.
Well, we won't get to more of his stats now because he is rung up and the side is retired. But 2 runs do come home in the frame, courtesy of 3 hits for the Jethawks. And they have extended to a 5-1 advantage as we head to the bottom of the 6th against Wesleyville right here on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
gonna ride him as long as he can ride him.
Coming down.
Well, hopefully get you. He needs 6 outs. He's not gonna get all 6.
Leading off for Wesleyville, number 12, David Gibson.
Latrobe has scored 5 runs over the last 3 innings, back-to-back frames of 2 runs apiece to take a 5-1 lead over Wesleyville, the Region 8 champion. Sean Myers joined by Mark Katarski. Our producer extraordinaire is the incomparable Dan Flickinger. And so Siraki remains in. He's got about 10 more pitches before he will have to exit.
Again, with this pitch count, you almost wonder if it's advantageous for Wesleyville to just take.
Yeah.
Make him burn out his arm, and the quicker you get him out, the better that's going to be for you. He's just been dealing tonight.
Well, if you're Siraki with a 4-run lead, all the more reason just to pump in strikes.
Pump in strikes.
You don't necessarily want to just groove one right down the plate because you are facing the cleanup hitter, but the last thing he wants to do is have a lengthy at bat or a walk. That's hit out to right. Bush went back, now comes in, makes the catch for out number 1. I don't believe Colin is any relation to
Now
Jason
batting
and
number
Zach Bush.
6, Ryan
Fairly
Vaughn.
common last name, especially in these here parts.
Mm-hmm.
Siraki, he'll get this batter for sure.
Big swing and a miss by Vaughn.
Remember, if he gets the 105 in a batter, he can finish that batter.
Yes. Well, he's trying to do it in about 15 seconds time here as he's working at a fever pace. And how about that? That's about as quick of a strikeout as you will ever see.
So he'll get this next batter here.
That's a dozen punch-outs, or punchies as the kid call them. And so he
Now
can
batting number
face
13,
Menendo.
Alex
Even though this will
Menendo.
be pitch 105, he'll then have the opportunity to finish this at bat, which I think that is a good rule.
Yes, it's a common sense rule.
Swing and a miss. Looking for a baker's dozen strikeouts potentially, although he'll take an out anyway here. Called strike. Swing and a miss. Siraki's fired up. Latrobe fired up. He retires the side in order, including a pair of strikeouts. He finishes with 13 Ks, and he'll take a 5-1 lead into the 7th inning. We'll continue our coverage. The final game of the opening day of the 2023 American Legion State Championship here on WSN.
Seven for 75. 7 for 75, Wesleyville.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Yeah, 17 pitches. Straight change. Number 7, Riley Brown.
You ready?
Yeah.
3 zeros, 240. 0 0 0 240. $305.
That ain't bad.
That, Tom, they get 150 something, right?
What?
They don't get 305, do they?
Yeah, that's to the winner.
Wow.
Hey, 75 is at 27
Coach
pitches,
Bush.
correct?
Yes.
Get out your 50-50
1 second.
tickets. The winner is going to get $305. The winning number 0 0 0 2 4 0 0 0 0 2 4 0. You can collect your winnings in the concession stand.
That'll get you about
Third pitcher of the contest now for Wesleyville, as taking over on the hill is Riley Brown, replacing Heath Betza,
Now
who
pitching
I believe went
for
1 2/3
Wesleyville,
innings.
Number 7.
And the 4-run
Riley
lead is a number
Brown.
that for Wesleyville is important to keep it at. Now, obviously, we're already at 4, so you don't want to add runs. But by having 4, bases loaded, 1 swing of the bat, theoretically ties the game. So I think it's really important for them to try to keep this here. Remember, too, they're going to face a new arm in the bottom of the 7th because Siraki has hit his pitch limit.
And I think their mindset is anyone we see is going to be better than Siraki.
I think
Meaning better for our opportunity
Leading
offensively.
off
sure.
for Latrobe, number 22, Logan Bradish.
So 4, 5, 6 for the Jethawks with Bradish leading off. It really is something special in a pitcher when they can finish that strong. I mean, you always think of like Justin Verlander, right? That it almost seems like he throws harder and gets better late in the game. And Siraki knew that was the end of the line for him. Reached back and maybe had a little bit extra left on some of those pitches.
And think through it statistically. There were only 5 outs recorded outside of a strikeout. And that's incredible. And plus, he had a great day at the plate. He's just been a big-time player here tonight.
Have you ever used the word incrinculant?
No, I don't know that word.
Maybe you can start using that in place of incredible.
My dad's an English teacher, was an English teacher.
That is ripped, but foul off the bat of Bradish.
Sean, what do you think about these wood bats? Would you like to see it more throughout amateur baseball?
Yeah, I would. I know it gets expensive, though.
Sure.
And a single wood bat is cheaper than a aluminum bat. The problem is, I don't know how
The
often
lifespan, right.
they break, but I would imagine, what do you think? I can't imagine they last a full season typically, right?
I wouldn't think, no.
As that is hit through. Would seem good on that one for Bradish as he has a leadoff single. So let's say theoretically, especially these teams, they've now had a long season.
Next up, number 23.
You might have to buy 3 bats, 4
Colin
bats,
Wood.
right?
Yeah.
That's kind of expensive.
Yeah,
An aluminum bat should last you, I would think, 2 or 3 seasons minimum,
typically.
unless you outgrow it, which, I mean, that could happen for younger players, but that's the drawback to that. And then I think when you think of each individual is probably going to have their own, but I would assume collegiately, does the college offer bats, or is it solely up to the players to get all of their own equipment? I don't
That's
know
a
how that
great
works.
question. I mean, it's been 20 years since I coached baseball, and I don't really remember that in college, whether we purchased them or not. Nowadays, I mean, I would imagine these kids all have their own, and it's sort of like The Natural going full circle where they have their names branded into it or whatever.
Would that be one of your top 5 movie picks for baseball?
No. I like it, but it's not in the top 5.
I agree, but most people consider that one of the very best baseball movies ever.
Well, I think it's a name of a movie that comes to your head.
Sure.
And Robert Redford was a big name back in the day. And
Yeah. Popular with the ladies as well.
they liked them. Yeah, I don't know what that's like. You know what movie was on the other day? I helped our daughters navigate. Ocean's 11.
Not a baseball movie as far as
No,
I'm
not at
concerned,
all.
no.
But there were some big names in that movie and a lot of moving parts. Brewster's Million. I really appreciated
Yes.
hearing that.
Is that since I was at the Hackensack
Hackensack Bulls.
Bulls, that's what I thought. They played the Yankees.
That's right.
Well, the other one I mentioned was Naked Gun. Have you seen that?
I have.
With Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah.
That baseball scene in the first one is hilarious.
Yeah, it's epic.
Reggie Jackson
Yeah, the robot.
tried to kill the Queen.
Correct.
This is hit right side and through. Vacated spot. And Bush finds it. Bradish moves up to second. Back-to-back hits for the Jethawks, who all of a sudden are starting to put together a lot of hits in this one after they were very limited early.
Batista.
And hitting is contagious. You know, there's no studies on it, and you don't have to wear a mask to avoid it. But, you know, hitting is the kind of thing, it just seems once they do it, others do it. And I'd be shocked to not see a bunt here.
They now have 7 hits in this game.
I'm shocked.
Batista, he's the type of guy that he puts a good bunt down. He's probably got a real chance to beat it out, too.
Yeah, and like we said earlier, 1 run does make a difference here. You know, a 4 or 5 run lead is just strategically a little different.
That's inside, too.
You're driving one here now. You're driving one here now. P, let's go 2. Let's go 2.
Two on, nobody out here in the 7th inning. Latrobe is the visitors in this one. We've brought to you 3 games earlier today. This is the 4th and final of the opening day. We'll have 4 more tomorrow. We will have 3 on Wednesday. And then it'll continue to par down.
Sean, I'm supposed to let you know that the Amatucci's have broken 5 bats this year.
That's between both brothers.
Louis 3, Vinny 2.
Yeah.
Now, have they broken any on each other? That's my question.
Yes, sir, John.
The Amatucci's are some of the biggest fans of WSN that exist. We appreciate them.
Absolutely. And a reminder, you can catch this on archive as well.
Yes, go back
Some of
and
you
watch.
might be doing it on archive.
That goes for all the games in this tournament. Batista's really choking up here with the 2-2. And he waves at that, and
he's out.
Yeah, so he's running, but the other 2 advance, and that is legitimate for them. Batista, I don't think, realizes that he's out.
Yeah, he's out.
But it goes for a strikeout and a subsequent wild pitch.
That's right.
Now batting, number
And he's
3,
out, of course, because first
Leo
base was occupied at that time.
At the time
even
of
though
the pitch.
Even though it's not currently.
That's the correct term, time of the pitch.
Punch it through.
When they have the infield in, again, you get the sense just how important it is to keep this lead where it's at.
Well, it wasn't a bunt, but the end result, the same. Both runners advance. They're now at 3rd and 2nd, respectively, in the form of Bradish and Bush. Popped up, foul, might be playable. And based on the sound, it was not played.
Let's go. Let's go. Drive one here, kid.
It's out of my sight.
So the count's now 0-2 on Bezala, and Brown would
Let's go.
love a strikeout here. Or pop up in the infield.
Yeah, there's just a few scenarios. I mean, somebody in the outfield you got to think is going to draw the runner going, because the chance to go from 4 to 5 runs is a risk worth taking.
That's high. The Jethhawks are without Duncan Faust for this tournament, but everyone else available to them.
Let's go in there, kiddo. Find some grass out there, baby. Let's go, baby. Cover up now.
Off the end of the bat, but foul. Did Brown come with like a different delivery there?
I thought so.
Yeah, it looked like a sidearm.
Yep.
Let's go 3.
Remember El Duque used to do that for the Yankees?
Oh, he was a fun one.
Let's go, baby.
Yeah, it's something you wonder why pitchers don't go to more often.
Go 3.
You know, hitters are such creatures of habit that just changing arm slot.
That's not deep. Catch is made and no tag opportunity as Courtright puts it away. Well, I would speculate that you said batters are creatures of
Now
habit.
batting, number 4.
For pitchers, I think it is so important for their mechanics that even if they're off by a quarter inch, they might lose their command. So if you come down to something completely different, it takes a special pitcher to be able to still, I mean, sure, you could throw it hard, but if you can't put it where you want, then it's all for naught.
And we've seen quarterbacks, and I know they're two different sports, but quarterbacks, especially guys like Mahomes, have really popularized throwing from different arm angles.
That's the first guy I think of course.
Right. And Brett Favre did it to a degree, but not to the level that Mahomes has.
I thought it was pronounced Favre. Off of the glove, and that falls into the outfield. One run is in. Here comes Bush, and he's safe. The catcher never even tried to apply the tag. Out at second is Stinchula, and that run will count. So two come across on the Stinchula 2-run single, and as we head bottom 7, Jethawks get 2 crucial insurance markers. They have extended their lead. It is 7-1. Don't go anywhere. We'll continue this American Legion State Tournament game right here on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
Two RBIs, and now we have some Latrobe changes.
We're just moving positions.
Okay.
Siraki to left.
Okay.
Bazela to right.
Okay.
Bush to first.
First, yes.
Radish to pitch.
Well, that makes sense. Thank you.
Now pitching for Latrobe, number 22, Logan Bradish.
Did you guys get that? In the 2-hole, the pitcher went to 7.
Yeah, Bush at first.
4-hole, he's now pitching Bradish. 5-hole is Bush is going to first. And then the 7-hole, Bazala is going to right.
How many pitches did he throw tonight to pitch tomorrow?
30, that's exactly correct. 30 or less.
Because I would be shocked if that is not the starting pitcher.
Okay. Against Paxton and Mark.
Send it. Coming down.
Leading off for Wesleyville.
All right, changes
number
of plenty
25,
defensively, but it's the same
Jacob
9 for
Rocky.
the Jethawks as Latrobe calls upon Logan Bradish to pitch. Siraki goes from the mound to left. From left to right, Leo Bazela, and Colin Bush comes in from the outfield to play first base, which is where Bradish was playing previously. And they face 7, 8, 9 in the batting order for Wesleyville. Remember, it is a double elimination tournament, so both these teams will play tomorrow. It's just a matter of winner's bracket versus the loser's bracket.
And Bradish's goal would be 30 or fewer to make sure that he can come back tomorrow, which you got to think is in the cards.
Yes. Now, if Latrobe wins this game, and they're certainly well positioned, there's a swing and a miss. If Bradish does go over 30, he would still be available to pitch Wednesday as long as he doesn't get to the next threshold. That's hit pretty well. Backpedaling is Batista, and it's off of the fence and will be a double. Did he lose sight of it, or did?
Yeah, so Batista was over near the Thank You Dairy Township Supervisor sign, and the ball hit way to his right, our left. Yeah, must have lost it in the lights.
He was backpedaling, going basically straight back, and it didn't really come all that close to him.
Yeah, and it was accurately ruled a double. I mean, you just can't penalize him for that.
And now Brown, who's the pitcher, replacing Bulger, so this is his first AB. So with Bradish, again, if you need him theoretically to throw 31 pitches to guarantee that you win this game, you know if you win this game that you're going to play Wednesday.
It's a fair point, yeah.
And so now the count's 0-2. That said, if he throws more than 31 pitches, it seems like it would be things are probably not going too well for him at that point.
Correct.
Swing and a miss by Brown on 3 pitches. He is down.
Now batting, number 84, Reed Cartwright.
I love that he's number 84. That's a unique one.
It's a good football number. Not as common in baseball.
Yeah.
That's a golf foul.
Wonder who it's after, the 84.
Randy Moss.
I hope it is.
I don't know.
Yeah,
You know what? Maybe I'll dig into this, okay?
One of the Sharps. Shannon or Sterling.
I'm willing to bet he might not even know that they played football.
Yeah. And nowadays they can wear any number they want.
No swing. He knows them, I'm sure, as football personalities.
Yeah.
Shannon Sharp just left his show with Skip, right?
He let go of everybody in ESPN.
What's he doing now? I don't know what's next for him. That is sky high out to right. Bazela is able to see it, and he makes the catch and showing off a pretty strong arm as it goes for the second out. And now Latrobe could be 1 out away from moving on to the winners bracket.
Antonio Brown.
Oh, man, what a
piece of work.
Yeah, what a downward spiral.
Now batting,
Yeah.
number 2, Jake Menendo.
Well, this is it here for Wesleyville. Menendo's going to have to keep it going, and they'll have to get a few more after him. They'll have to get all the way to his brother, Alex, if they want to keep this thing going. Remember, this was
Bryce Harper, by the way, is Courtwright's favorite athlete.
Oh, well, there you go.
That doesn't explain the number.
No, but remember, this was a 1-0 lead for Wesleyville.
It was.
And they looked in control. It was 1-1. And then it was the bunt play that just broke it open, and that was it since. And then
There's a strike. They throw to second. Not in time. Oh, Louis Amatucci showing an absolute hose. He thought that could have been it. And if other teams' coaches are here scouting, or if they're watching right now, I think they note, hey, Latrobe's catcher's got an absolute cannon. That's fouled back. I would imagine, honestly, that either coaches are sticking around or watching right now because there's not a lot of familiarity. I asked Jason Bush. He didn't remember ever playing Wesleyville. So, I mean, most of these teams are probably playing for the first time against one another, or at least the first time in a while.
Yeah, and the stats here are more basic. You know, you're not getting the spray charts and things like that out there. So, you know, watching a game, getting a feel for a team does add up.
Payoff pitch, swing and a miss, and that will do it. Bradish gets the punch out. He retires the side. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. Latrobe wins this one. An impressive showing for the Jethawks. They score 7 runs over the final 4 innings as they claim a 7-1 victory over Wesleyville post 571. Mark, obviously,
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for
the final
attending
score is
the
not
first
really
day of the
indicative of how
tournament.
close and
We
competitive
will resume play
this
tomorrow
game was,
morning
but
at 10:15.
for Latrobe, the host team,
Please
they
be
proved certainly
careful
that
going home.
they absolutely belong in this one.
Absolutely, and these
Good
7-inning
night.
games are sprints in a lot of ways, and we saw it be even up through 4, and Latrobe just found a way to break through, and that was all they needed. Great pitching on top of it. A big win for Latrobe to move to the winners bracket. There's only 4 teams after today that are 1-0, and make that path a little easier moving forth. So a big win for the hosts, and I'm sure they'll hope they can keep it going.
And we're going to have post-game interview upcoming, but as we mentioned, they guarantee now that they will make it to Wednesday. Now Wesleyville has to win to keep its season alive. The drawback for Latrobe is that they will not have Siraki, barring this tournament being pushed
On
back
the mound.
because of weather. They
Yeah.
will not have him to pitch, and his numbers absolutely incredible. He is far and away the best statistical pitcher this season. That said, Latrobe has 4 other pitchers who have ERAs in the 2s that have thrown regularly. So they have other arms that they can use. They got every drop out of Siraki they could today to claim the victory. On the other side for Wesleyville, well, they now know they have to be perfect from here on out. That's a lot of pressure, but sometimes back against the wall can actually bring out the best in a team.
Yeah, and they have stuff to build on. In their first few innings, they were toe-to-toe with arguably the best pitcher that we saw all day. I know Paxton, they say, has some good arms, but I thought Siraki was as good as any to this point. And remember, you're here for a reason. You won your region, so everybody is good. But, short memories, and I hope you can come back. But for Latrobe, really couldn't have thought of a better start to the tournament as the host.
Final numbers in this one, Latrobe playing as the visitors here as the host team. 7 runs, 8 hits, 1 error. And for Wesleyville, 1 run, 5 hits, and 3 errors. Well, we're going to have a post-game interview upcoming, but in the meantime, we will step aside. Stick around for that as we will talk to the Jethawks. But for now, 7-1 the final score, Latrobe over Wesleyville on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
What's up?
Jason. I know they're probably talking to him, but can you tell Zach and Hayden to come up? Thank you.
I could have picked that one.
Haha.
I could have picked it for you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no problem. Sounds good.